Hurry up. Come on. And some of you guys now, I'm serious now. You're not speaking up. All right. All right. Now, what I want everybody to do now after they had their paper is just put your pencil down. Because I'm going to teach now for 5 minutes, and you're just going to listen to me. And then the information is going to soak into your head, and then we're going to reproduce that information back up in the homework problems. All right? Come on, let's go. Everybody should have paper. Let's go. Too much time. Get a pencil out. Chop, chop. Hurry up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. You with me? Hurry up. Colin, you with me? All right. Essentially, we're doing all the problems that aren't word problems. All right. Now, pencils down and eyes up, and let me talk for just a quick minute about and show you how simple it is, especially if you were pretty good after yesterday. All right. Those of you guys who are working, you understand it. Those of you guys who are not working, it's just difficult. Yeah, we don't need the iPads. Put the iPads up. Just going to look right up here on the board. I want complete concentration. All right. When you multiply variables, what do you do their exponents? You add them. That should be automatic. Raising a power to a power, you automatically what? Multiply them. All right, now we're going to talk. Put your pencil down and listen. Pencils down and listen. Thank you. Don't worry about that. All right, I'm going to put some examples on the board. You're supposed to follow along. So if I multiply, what do I do to exponents? Add them. So when I divide, I'm probably going to do what? Subtract them. That's exactly right. But now you're not writing that down. All right, you're looking up here on the board. Let me explain it. Because what I'm trying to show you is how you can reproduce the rules even if you forget everything. On the test, if you forget, it's okay because you can write everything out and demonstrate to yourself what the answer has to be. And let me show you what I mean by that. So if I ask you what is x to the fourth divided by x, you should be able to tell me that's just what? X to the third. You should be able to tell me that. Now let's say I'm not sure what the rule is. All right, what you're showing me is that x to the fourth means x times x times x times x divided by x divided by x. So what happens to x divided by x? What is that always? Anything divided by itself is what? Now let's say I don't know. Again, before you sound foolish, I said anything divided by itself, and you're like, well, I don't even know what he's talking about. So let's say, what's 10 divided by 10? What's 12 divided by 12? What's 75 divided by 75? So what is x divided by x? That's not funny man time. I mean it. I'm not even kidding. One little bit. All right? That's why you're being funny. That's why you don't know. All right? What is x divided by x? Those of you guys are not comedians. 1, because they were listening. The comedians don't know. All right? So anytime you divide anything by itself, it's always 1. And I'm going to even show you how that's true. All right? So this is how I know that the answer is correct. Because I'm looking, how many x's do I have left? 3. So that's why it is x to the third power. All right? Now I'm going to give you something else. I'm going to say, well, what if I did x divided by x to the fourth? Here's what you should say. Well, I don't know what the answer is, but I know the answer is x times x times x over x. And what happens to these two x's here? They cancel out. And I'm left with what on the top if I do x divided by x? 1. Not 0, 1. So my answer is 1 over x cubed. Everybody agree with that? All right? No, it would not be x to the negative 3. Actually, that is a possibility. All right? And that's how they figured out what negative exponents are. They're just following patterns and following rules. He is 100% correct. The rule is you subtract. What's 1 minus 4? Negative 3. So this is equivalent to negative 3. Now I'm going to show you how they figured this out. All right, it's done with patterns. So let me give you a pattern real quick. If I said 2 to the 4th, most people could tell me that is 16. If I said 2 to the 3rd, that would be what? 2 to the 3rd is today what? 8. It's all right, just pay attention. 2 squared, we all know that is 4. Now, here's how they figured out anything to the first power is itself. All right, how do I know that? Because I'm following a pattern. From here to here, I did what? Divide by 2. From here to here, I what? And from here to here, I what? Divide by 2. So now, that's how they figured out that anything to the 0 power is what? Oh my goodness. 1. How did I know it was 1? Because what is 2 divided by 2? 1. It's all about patterns here. Now, if I continue the pattern, I said, well, then what would be 2 to the negative 1? Before you say something silly, continue the pattern in your mind without saying anything, okay? Now you're saying, okay, what have I done each time? Okay, so tell me the answer. Go ahead. Because you haven't done anything I asked you. Nothing. That's why you said negative 2. You've done nothing. You're not visualizing what I'm telling you. You're not looking at the pattern. You're just saying what you think the answer is. That's why it's wrong. I am trying to make you a thinker. Not something that you just look out and say, well, I think that's the way it is. That's the way it must be. What is the answer? Obviously, 1/2. How does she know that? Well, because she was thinking like I asked her to. And to go from here to here, what am I doing again? So from here to here, I'm probably going to do what? And so what is 1 divided by 2? The fraction what? 1/2. Now I'm telling you, I don't think that's that hard. But you got to be thinking about it now. So now let's just continue on. If I said 2 to the negative 2, it's probably going to be 1/4. Because if I take 1/2 and I divide it by 2, I get what? 1/4. Right? Now, 1/4 is the same as 1 over 2 squared. Listen for a minute. Put your hand down. 1 over 2 squared. So now the rule is being created. When I have a negative exponent, to fix it, I just move it. And what do I mean by move it? Right now, we consider it in the numerator. I put it where? In the denominator. So if I have 2 to the negative 2, I just move it to the denominator and make it 1 over 2 squared. All right, listen to me some more, Colin. Just give me a second. Now, if I said to you, what is x to the negative 5, everybody here should be able to say, well, that's obviously just what? 1 over x to the 5th. That is exactly correct. That's how simple it is. That's all there is with negative exponents. That's all there is with negative exponents. All right? So now if I said this, 1 over y to the negative 3, please watch. 1 over y to the negative 3 is the same as 1 over y cubed. Now if I do 1 over y cubed, that's the same as 1 divided by 1 over y cubed. When you're dividing, you multiply by the reciprocal. So it'd be 1 times y cubed, which is equal to what? Y cubed. Now you can do all of this work, or you can just say, if I have a negative exponent, I just move it. If it's in the denominator, I'm going to move it to the numerator. If it's in the numerator, I move it to the what? Denominator. Yes, we're focusing, not daydreaming. Focus. All right, so we just handled everything there is to know about negative exponents. So one last example now. If I said this, x to the negative 2, y to the negative 3. Somebody please simplify that for me real quick. You're not allowed to have negative exponents. So the answer is what? Just tell me the answer without the other stuff. No. What's the answer? That's exactly correct. Y cubed over x squared. Because If you have a negative exponent, you do what? You move it. This is a negative exponent. So I put it up here. When I change it, the variable becomes positive, or the exponent becomes positive. Right here it's negative. I move it down, and what happened to the exponent? It became positive, and now everybody's happy. All right, that's all there is today. If you are dividing, you subtract exponents. If you have a negative exponent, you have to move it. If it's in the denominator, you push it to the numerator. If it's in the numerator, you push it to the denominator. That's it, guys. All right? Now, the first problems, you're not going to write down the original problem one because they're basic and they're easy. Everybody in here now, we're just going to go right around the room and you're going to tell me what you think the answer is. And everybody's going to be quiet and everybody's going to participate and you're going to tell me what the answer is. All right? As soon as you don't know something, you put your hand up and let me help you. All right? Now, everybody, pencil in your hand. Question number 1. That's right, Miss Nelson. You are up. Number 1. I just want the answer. You don't have to write the original problem down. Tell me what the answer is, kiddo. What's the rule? When I divide, what do I do to exponents?
Add them.
That's when you multiply, you do what? Shh. You add exponents. When you divide, you what?
Subtract.
That's it. You subtract. Okay. So what would my t be?
So it would be t to the third power.
Over, or not over, but t to the third, then?
U to the third.
That's correct. No. Just gotta, if you don't know, write the rule. When you divide, you subtract exponents. When you divide, you subtract exponents. That should be on your paper if you can't remember that, or if you can't figure it out. All right, so question number 1. Say it one more time. The answer is?
T to the third power and U to the third power.
Exactly. Now pay attention for the next 30 minutes and you'll be amazing. Alex, number 3. M to the first. R to the third. What happens to the p's?
Oh, they cancel.
They cancel out. Anything divided by itself is 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. Now, you're supposed to look up here and say, oh my gosh, I have no idea. What are you doing? Miss Bragdon, you okay with that? You understand so far, right? Any question, girls? Because you know you're coming up next. All right, here we go.
Wait, do you have to put p to the 0?
You can. It's like saying 1x to the first.
So
We don't need to.
we don't need
No, you don't. All right?
Are you able to just write the first is just M?
Yeah, you don't even have to do that. I just wrote that because that's what he said. You can just write MR cubed. All right, but I never mark it wrong, right? Doesn't matter to me. All right, Allison, number 5. Shh, I'm hearing, I'm listening. If you have a question, you ask me. Your job right now is to write the answer number 5 before Allison tells me what the answer is. Right now, go, write it. To the what power? Very good. G to the first. Good. That's right. M to the first. Nothing to it. Nothing to it. Tell me.
I put H to the first and before G to the first.
We usually write in alphabetical order. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. All right? I'm not marking it wrong. Do you hear me? But normally we write answers in alphabetical order. Kate, what's the matter? Shh. Nope. You're asking me. With what? Which one? All of it? Okay, so tell me what G is raised to what power? And then on the bottom, what do I have? Do you see what I'm saying? Now they try to confuse you because they did what? They mixed the letters up. That's all. Right? So I look at G8 and G7. And what do I get? There you go. Come on, kid. I want you to ask me anything. Don't ask anybody else. You ask me. You good on this now? You look at the H's. You good now? All right. Good. All right. Let's go into number 7. Colin, you're up. Number 7.
Number 7. So
be careful.
we will have x. No. All right, x1.
Good. Shh.
Y1 and Z1.
Exactly correct. Exactly. Girls.
It's not like I like saying something like bingo.
Yes, I got you. We're not playing bingo. Sure. All right, here we go. What? Get up. You got it? You okay? You all right? You all right? Number 9. All right, now number 9 is a review of what we did yesterday. Ms. Bragdon, you're up. Which one are we doing? Are we on number 9? Are you having trouble with 2 squared? Okay, so here we go. 4. You didn't say 4. You said 1. What's my answer? Shh. Look, I want people to be wrong. I'm tired of laughing. I'm not interested in that right now. I got 3 weeks to get stuff into your brain. Go. A to the what? Power to power. What's the rule? Thank you. Then what? Beautiful. B to the 10th. And then what? She's going to figure it out. Thank you. Come on. Come on. That wasn't that hard. That's the answer. Because there's no letters that are the same. All right. Number 11. Jess. What's 2 to the 5th? Start with 2. Times 2. Don't be nervous. No, listen to what I'm saying. Just relax. I don't care. I'm just trying to show you. You start, when you're doing numbers, you count on your fingers like this. 2. Then what? Now you're multiplying by 2, so the next one is? Then? And then? Yes, ma'am. Good job. 32. All right. Now, on your calculator, don't get out your calculator. There's no reason for a calculator because everybody knows that 5 to the 5th. We know what that is. 5 caret 5 for those of you guys who don't. You're not putting in your calculator. All right. 5 to the 5th. I'll help you. 3, 1, 2, 5. All right. If you didn't know that, you would type it in on your calculator. All right. Now, continue on. C to the what? And then? Come on now, you're supposed to be writing them down before I am to see if you know what you're doing. Come on, you're not allowed to copy. Then what? What step? We're on G. G to the what? Yeah, I'm not sure. There is no other step now, and I'm going to tell you why. Hey, there's no other step because none of the variables are the same. We don't have to reduce this time. This was a review of yesterday. You with me? They're trying to throw you off a little bit. You good with this? Everything's good so far? All right. Here we go. 13. What? Go. Tell me what the answer is.
Okay.
Too slow. What's the answer? Too slow. What's the answer?
3.
Wrong.
Oh, 0.
Wrong. What's the answer, Max? Tell him.
1.
1. Anything to the 0 power is what? 1. Anything to the 0 power is 1. Alex, concentrate.
Can I try the next one?
No. All right, that was your time to shine. All right. 15. Here we go. Max.
F to the negative 3rd to the 2nd.
So what's the answer?
Wait. You just said.
So what's the answer? It's almost as bad as something to the 0 power.
Yeah, but that was
No buts. Yeah, that looked real silly what you said. You're right. Real silly. Will, help him out. What do I have to do on this?
Okay, so you would do
You're not allowed to have negative exponents.
Yes. Okay.
So what is the answer?
So then it would be 8 to the 4th
Yep.
over F to the 5th.
What else?
And then G to the 2nd is
Stays on the top or bottom? Yes. That's it. Well, now that, guys, that is not hard. If you see a negative exponent, you move it. That's it. That's all there is to it. All right, and I can't help you any more than that. There is absolutely nothing I can do for you. Nothing. That is a rule. You follow the rules. If you see a negative exponent, you have to move it. That's simple. All right, and it's not funny to me. All right, you're laughing and carrying on. I ask you a simple question, and you're like, what? What? Have no idea. Shouldn't be that way. I shouldn't have to tell you twice. You should be consuming information. That's what you should be doing. But you don't. You'd rather be funny. It's embarrassing. All right. Give it a shot, Jack.
Alright, so
Now this one's tougher, so I'm going to give you a little. Look at the numbers first. What do I do with the numbers? Come on, come on, come on. You're awake. Let's go. I'm on 15. No, I'm on 17. Write 17 down and be ready. Okay, come on. You're asking me about 2/6. That's what you're asking me. 2/6 is 12.
Oh, sorry.
1/3.
1/3.
1/3. Wow. All right. Do we need some direction on the fraction 2/6? 2/6 is just like the old days. If I ask you what 2/6 is, you automatically 1/3. Very good. All right. Now listen. What I need you to do now is you need to go through, and if you see a negative exponent, you have to move it. That's the easiest way to do. Don't try to do the work in your head or you're going to make careless mistakes. All right? So we're going to look at the numerator. All right? Do I move a squared? No. So you leave a squared alone. Do I move b to the negative 7? Yes. So that goes down on the bottom, and then b squared's on the bottom. What do I do to a to the negative 3? A to the negative 3, that goes where? On top. All right, now I'm just kind of c to the 10th stays home, and then I have c to the negative 3, which goes where? On the top. Guys, I'm trying to tell you, it's just that simple. If you have a negative exponent, you got to move it. Now, the final step is now we're going to put everything together. All right, so now, you got that so far? Now, I want you to try to tell me what that is equal to. Put equals right there. And then I want you to try to tell me what is a squared and a cubed. Don't tell me, just write it, what you think it is. So I want you to put 1, and then what is that? A squared and a cubed. Don't say anything, just tell me a to the what? Brilliant. Now keep going, because you're brilliant, and do the whole thing, and then you're going to see if you're right. Okay, tell me the answer now, Jack.
So 1, a to the 5th, and then c to the 15th.
C to the...
Oh, wait.
Shh.
Oh, 13. Sorry.
It's okay. Everybody makes a mistake with 10 plus 3. Don't worry about it. All right. Yesterday we had a 31 or something. All right. And then we had what? B to the what? B to the ninth. Beautiful. That's not, I know, it's not hard. I'm trying to tell you that. If you don't daydream, this is easy. All right. Emily, let's see where you're at. Number 19. Shh. Come on, come on. Keep them focused. I don't need you messing around. 19. Listen to this. Wow, beautiful. M to the second, P to the first. And again, it's not necessary to write P to the first. You can just write P. All right, Ben, you're up. Tell me about 21. What should I do first? Shh. Come on, girls. I mean it. Right now, you're supposed to be doing 21, not copying down my answer. What about the fraction? First, simplify the fraction. What is that?
That is 1 over 4.
Beautiful. 1 over 4. Now, what do I do with the m to the negative 3? Good. Do I have to move anything else? Just a minute. Can I simplify any of the letters? No. That is the answer. What?
Why do you move that?
Because it has a what type of exponent?
So whenever it's negative, you move to the
Well, if it's negative on the bottom, you move it to the
top.
If it's negative on the top, you move it to the
Okay.
bottom. Look, guys, we're in a situation now. All right, I'm not listening to you guys laugh. I'm not doing it. All right, last one before I go to the hard problems. 23. Go ahead. 23, this should be easy for you.
Okay, so we'll change the fractions from 9 on the top, and then 25, or yeah, 25 at the bottom, and then you just keep that the same. You keep the same variables, x, y, to the 4th on the top, and then z squared. Oh wait, no, x, y to the 8th power.
What about x?
Oh, x.
Yeah, no, you're going to sound, listen to that tonight. Listen to how you sound.
X squared, y to the 8th power, and z to the 4th power.
Yeah, that's good, all right? Very good.
I'm really intelligent.
Really brilliant. All right?
Hey, it's not as bad as...
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. It isn't. Okay?
The zero
Here we go.
power.
Now, listen. Again, now we're going into the deeper waters. All right? And I'm going to drop down now, and I'm going to do 55, and I'm going to try to work my way all the way back. Now, on these problems right here, hey, I mean it, guys. On these problems right here, I'm going to put you guys in the back and put people who want to learn up in the front. Because I think it's a little backwards right now. All right? You'd be all the way in the back. All right, 55. Here we go. On 55 now, I want everybody to write it out. Write it out. Write the problem first. Shh. Now, first of all, let's look at the numerator. What's the numerator?
One.
Is it 1?
The numerator is definitely 1, right? Because it's to the 0 power. Uh-oh. Then all of a sudden I look at this whole thing is raised to the what? So what do I have to do to that whole thing? Move it up. Come on now. You're going to move it up because it's a what? Negative exponent. You understand what I'm saying? So now put equals 1. And then, see how that's negative 2? You got to bring it up to the top. So your answer starting out is a 1, parentheses, 4x to the 0, y to the negative 4, z squared. That's what you should be saying. Allison, are you good with that? Come on, tell me right now. What's the matter?
No, I didn't.
Kate?
Aren't you multiplying negative 2 by negative 4?
I'm not doing anything yet. I'm just asking you if you understand why that's the way it is right now. Is that good? All right, now I'm going to take care of business. First off, anytime you see something to the 0, do I really even have to write it out? No, it automatically becomes a what? 1. And 1 times anything just stays the same. So the first thing I want to do now is I just want to rewrite this as 4y to the negative 4z squared. All right? Now, go ahead. What do I do?
So you do 4y times.
No. 4 squared.
Yeah, 4 squared.
What is that?
Which is 16.
Now you're going to say,
Okay, so now, yes.
what would that be?
So that would be negative 8.
Yes, y to the negative 8. And then z. What is funny? Nothing is funny. Go.
Just, it would be z squared.
Yes, beautiful. Now that's not exactly correct, but that's the first simplifying that. So what's my final answer? Can you tell me? Come on now.
Oh.
Tell me what the problem is.
Oh, the negative.
Yes, come on, you gotta relax, man. No one cares if you're right or you're wrong. All right, just tell me what you think. Go.
So then you switch it.
So it'd be what?
Y to the positive.
Where would that go?
Oh, it would go on the bottom.
Yes, exactly. It's on the top, you gotta move it to the bottom. And then the 16z squared stays just like that. I'm gonna answer you, let me help him, okay? Go. That's it, that's the answer. Because all the exponents are positive. What? Go.
So
Shh, I'm looking.
negative 4 squared. Wouldn't that just?
No!
Oh, it's. I'm sorry. Never mind.
Power to power, multiply. Power to power, multiply. Go. I'm glad you asked, though. Go. Come on. Make your mistakes now. Just pay attention up front. There's nothing in the back you got to look at. Nothing.
Why is it 16 z squared?
What do you want it to be?
16.
4 squared is 16. Am I right?
No, you have a y.
Because y, come on, look here. Y to the negative 4 squared is y to the negative 8. Do you understand that?
Oh, I thought you said.
No, I don't care what you thought. I just want to know if you're corrected. Do you understand me? Right? I'm trying to get through a lot of problems, and I want to correct as many errors as I can. And as long as you're good, we're moving on. Come on. You all right? All right, let's see how all right you are. Everybody's looking at 53. All right, so I'm going to look at 53. 53, honestly, is as hard as it gets. All right, so I need every little bit of attention I can gather out of you, I need right now. All right, it looks complicated, but because we know the rules, it's very simple. Because we know the rules, it's very simple. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to tell you this. The whole fraction is being raised to the negative 2. That means what do I have to do to the whole fraction? You have to switch it. That's not that hard. It's not that hard. I got to switch it. So what does that mean? That means I'm going to write the fraction. Here we go. And I'm going to put 6x, negative 2, y, z, negative 5, negative 3x, negative 6, y, negative 1, z, negative 2, squared. Now notice, I didn't change any of the inside. I didn't change anything on the inside. Because I have this negative 2 right here. This negative 2 changes to a what? Positive 2 if I do what? Flip everything. So you with me on this? Now I'm telling you, I know it's kind of tricky, so you can't sit there and go, well, whatever. Kate, that was pretty confident for the first time all year. What about you? Shaking your head, that's not too confident. Girls, good? Good?
So I'm still confused how I.
This is a -2. I change it to a +2 by taking the reciprocal. That's it. That's it. That's all there is. What? No. Listen to what I'm saying one more time. You ready? This whole thing is to the -2. So I have to move that whole thing to the bottom. You have a very good question. I promise you, very good question. I need you to hear what I'm saying, right? Listen to me one more time. This is to the -2. You're erasing. You can't do two things at once. This is to the -2. That goes on the bottom. This is to the -2, so I push it to the what? To the top. Now everything is what? To the second power. You hear me? Now we still have to go back and clean this up. You're right, that's a mess still. But right now, this is to the -2. It's not a mess anymore because I made it +2. You hear me now? Now we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. All right? This is the tricky part, so kind of watch. Still with me? All right, here we go. So now in here, what I want to do is I want to simplify now what's on the inside. All right? So to simplify what's on the inside, what's 6 divided by -3? Thank you. Wow, very good. Thank you. Kind of nice to participate. So I've got a -2/1. I'm just going to make it -2/1. Now, because you were asking me, Miss Bragdon, see this -2 and this -6, what do I have to do to them? Yeah, you got to switch them again, which is annoying. I understand that. All right, you got to switch them again because they're both negative. So I'm going to put x to the 6th, and then I'm going to put x squared. Now, look at the first y. Do I have to move the first y? On the top, on the numerator? No, good girl. Y. What about the one on the bottom? So I have to move it to the top. When I move it to the top, it just becomes? Yes, ma'am. Good job. All right, now I'm looking at the z's. What do I have to do to the z's? Switch them. Yes, and that becomes? Look at that. See if that makes sense to you. Colin, is that making sense to you? Come on. Ben, you still in the game?
Why'd you put a big gap?
Because I was lining up the Z so you could see that. Good question. Good or not? What?
Can you put like 2 R's?
There's a Y to the -1 on the bottom.
Oh.
I move it to the top. No, sit down. Okay, hurry up. I'm going to finish this up. You need to listen. What? Are you good with this being Y now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Come on, nothing in the back, remember? Nothing's in the back. You good? All right. Now we're simplifying. So here we go. Again, -2/1. x6 and x squared. What does that leave me with? X to the 4th. Beautiful. Y times y. Y squared. Z squared and z to the 5th. That leaves me with a what? Where's the z? Z to the 3rd on the bottom. Now's the time where you speak up and go, man, I'm not sure. Go.
Why is the x on the x on the top?
How many do I have up top?
Oh, 6.
How many do I have on the bottom?
2.
So if I subtract, where? On the top, because there's more on the top. That's the rule. All right, that's how simple that is to remember. Wherever there's more, all right, it goes in the numerator because there's more in the numerator than the denominator. Anybody else? Same principle here, right? There's 5 on the bottom, 2 on the top, cross 2 out. I'm left with 3 on the bottom. You good on this? What? Come on, speak up.
If you subtract 2 from 5,
This would be -3, or you could say there are 5 on the bottom, 2 on the top. I wipe 2 out from the top and 2 out from the bottom. That leaves me what? Stop. 3 on the bottom. All right. Now I'm squaring. So your final answer is, what is -2 squared? 4. X to the 4th squared would be x to the what? 8. Y to the over z to the
6.
beautiful. That's the answer. That's the answer. Come on.
Where did you get the negative 2?
Are you forgetting that we reduced a fraction? You're having trouble with fractions today. 6 divided by 3. We'll call that 2. Good? All right. We're with me now. Man. All right. Here we go. I want to look at 5th. Oh. Okay, guys. Work on the odds. Tomorrow we're going to work on the what? Evens. I mean it.
Are we doing all the odds?
All the odds. That's right. Except the word problems. Now, look. We did several of the hard ones, okay? I'm going to collect the odds tomorrow now.
I got 50.
Get to work. Get to work. Get to work. Hey.
I did 53.
Pretty girl. Come on. See?
I got
It's not that
53.
hard.
First,
You got to listen every day, though. That's why you're having trouble.